Hello, everybody. Welcome to your Aries reading for the month of July. So good to see you this morning, and we have a lot to talk about. This is one of those days where the meditation and the messages began many hours before the reading, and that's great because that's what I'm here to do, and hopefully I can help create a sense of healing and peace, something I think that we all need quite a bit of right now. So I'm going to put this lovely resplendent creature down. This is Apollo, for those of you who haven't met him before, because we need to get to work today. So I'd like to begin by welcoming everyone first and foremost. I see that we had a lot of people in the chat room early. So to the familiar faces, it's so good to see you guys again. And if you're brand new, I'd like to give you a proper introduction. My name is Nicholas, and what I'd like to do today is really set in front of you possibilities. I read energy and I look at all the different paths that you could be possibly going on this month, hopefully helping you find the one that has the least resistance and the most kind of positive feedback. So we'll be looking at possibilities today for you. I like to organize my reading in a few different sections. First of all, you can use it, of course, for your sun, your rising, and also for your moon sign, if you happen to know all of those. If not, then just stick with your birth sign and you'll get all the information that you need by doing that. The organization of the reading is in 4 major parts. I start off with the psychic information that I received through meditation and automatic writing. Then I move along to the Celtic Cross, and we'll see again highlights, challenges, all the in between. And then I like to focus on 4 areas, including health, wealth, love, and destiny. That constitutes the main point, I would say the main portion of the reading. And then what we do after that is start to go a little bit deeper. This month, it was very easy for me to decide what to focus on for the soul path. We need to really look at ways that we can find peace, love, and an understanding, really, because that's what's lacking in the world right now. So we'll go to those sort of elements. For some of that, it could be in our family, right? Where we're just feeling discord. I've noticed even conversations with friends and family can be a little bit escalated sometimes. You argue over things that you normally wouldn't, because we're all feeling a little bit more tension. World events are definitely affecting what's going on in our lives right now. When I started reading, I never anticipated doing it in the midst of a pandemic, a recession, civil rights movement. This is a very impactful year. I'm going to do my best to be here for you and help with all of those things. So that portion of the reading is going to focus on emotions and soul energy that can kind of help us integrate the lessons from the first part. And then we'll do a healing meditation to bring it all together. Okay. I'd like to also say thank you to Maria and to Ryan. I appreciate your presence here, helping me keep this organized. Those are my moderators. They can answer high-level questions if you have them while I'm doing the reading. Because this is live, I just like to address how I work with Super Chat. For me, it's just a way for you to say thank you or to give back. So if you'd like to show your support, there's a little icon right by the emoji one here that's like a dollar sign. If you click on that, you can send a sticker or say thank you or just send some love. And it helps me continue to buy supplies and keep everything here up to date. So thank you for supporting me. A little goes a long way, and I appreciate it. I'll do a little special thank you once this is on replay, because I don't like to interrupt the flow, but know that I see it and I appreciate it as we're doing it. Other things at the end that I'll talk about is how to get involved, how to book an appointment, all of that. But let's get into the messages, because as I said, pretty much since 3 in the morning, I was starting to receive messages for your sign. The first and most important one that came through, because I'm a writer, sometimes my guides will kind of show me things almost in book form. And the first message that came through was that we're living and breathing history right now. No matter how you look at it, this is an important moment in time. And with that act of creation, what I was looking at was the end portion. Like, we're making what that end is going to be. And we're also writing what the history books are going to be in the future. So let's make it a good historical moment. Let's make it count as the sort of world is reacting to all the different things that I alluded to earlier. So in that act of creation comes responsibility and ownership and maturity. And it basically create the future that you want and what you envision. And sometimes that means you're not going to agree with friends, with neighbors, with even just people that you love and know and have loved and known for a long time. The important thing, though, as you work through the changes, is to work with the energy of God, which is love. So if you use love, empathy, and respect, and realize that change is an evolving thing, it doesn't happen in a single movement, it doesn't happen in a single day. It takes years, decades, time to kind of unravel that. How you focus on this then within using love, with using empathy, with using education, these things are really important. So this is, I think the key thing is that if you love the people around you, usually love finds a way to teach people how to be. And, if you look at different points in your life where maybe you had to do something important, for those of you that have had to come out, for those of you that have had to just quit a job and try something different, whatever your truth is or feels like, there comes a point in your life where it's kind of like, I can't do what others wanted or expected anymore. I have to live my truth. So I think as a planet, we're seeing multiple levels of this. So on a soul level, a lot of people are awakening. On a social and political level, a lot of people are awakening as well. And this is really what we were maybe hoping for back in 2012 or the turn of the millennia. So this is when things are shifting. These are going to be an interesting decade, the 20s. So please, please, please continue to use your heart as a compass, as a guiding force that will lead you into the right direction. And it's not just passion, it's compassion and empathy that are really important. And that's what we need right now to get us through this. And after kind of moving now away from that, I just want to say again, your thoughts manifests. So be positive. It's okay to be realistic, but keep the opportunities open and keep kind of feeding your dreams and your aspirations, because positive thoughts bring us in that direction. To quote Dr. Martin Luther King, I have a dream. He started off with that vision of what was possible. So whether it's a possibility of personal growth and development, something as practical as wanting to go to college, or something as big as wanting to change the way that the world looks, feels, and is, it starts with that envisioning. Then we all work towards that. And that dream is still unraveling. It's still alive and it's still growing. And our goal on this planet is to try to kind of, I say this, it's like to leave an indelible mark. We may not be able to always get where we want to go, but if we move constantly in that direction, that's all our soul desires. So pick your dream, pick your goal, pick your passion. And I think that that's going to be key. All right, moving on to other things. By the way, we're going to be in a retrograde. For those of you watching live, it's going to happen in June and roll into July. So we're ahead of it, especially Aries, because you got this a little bit earlier. So it's the 18th of June going into the 12th of July. So during that period, it's no surprise that we want to be careful when it comes to communication. Thankfully, travel's pretty light with coronavirus still being something that we're paying attention to. But the other thing that I was seeing in the meditation was that it's going to be hard to keep secrets this month. So if there's something important that you've been waiting to announce, I would say get ahead of this potential situation where somebody may inadvertently kind of spill the beans and share the secret, or people that you thought you could trust may not be as trustworthy, or just have a hard time not saying it to someone in their life. So if there's something important that you want to announce, I would say this is a good month to start that and do it in advance of the 18th so that you're way ahead of retrograde. First or second week of the month would be good. And then if you do it in July, because this is for July, then do it after the 12th, because that's the period again, June 18th to July 12th. The other thing with this is when I'm looking at secrets, it can also be about gossip. So if you are kind of on the receiving end of something that you probably shouldn't know, keep that to yourself, because you don't know if it's all true, and let it stop with you. So don't share anything you shouldn't. And if you hear something that you shouldn't, just kind of pretend that that didn't happen. So communication is a little bit tricky when it comes to sensitive information this month, and be careful of who you trust. Try not to gossip, try not to spread rumors. Always go back down to facts this month. I think that's really important. Don't rush into any decisions. The other thing that I was seeing was kind of maybe having second thoughts or needing to kind of dig a little deeper before you agree to something, because you might find out that there was more than you had initially imagined. So don't rush into contracts or major decisions without exploring all the options in front of you. And I think as long as you are prepared and have explored at least a couple of alternatives, things should be okay. When it comes to a contract, definitely this is a month where you want someone that has expertise in that area to take a look and inform you about what it is that you might be signing or deciding on. So some big things this month: healing energy and shifting in a large part due to the global events that are going on and will still be going on over the next half of the year probably. Some internal sort of things where, like, where does your heart want to take you? And then also figuring out how to deal with some tactical things like communication of events or important things in your life, trying to control that because it could get out of hand, and making some decisions, but making sure that you're informed about that. So there's a lot to unpack because there's a lot going on. The cards are going to help us make sense of this. So this is a nice segue into taking a look at the month ahead. At this point, I like to remain quiet while I lay out all of the cards in the spread here, but right afterwards, we're going to go through each and every message, and I'll do my best to, like I said, give you that roadmap so you can make the best decisions. I see questions about my sun, rising, and moon. I'm a Libra sun, I am a Taurus moon, and I'm a Capricorn ascendant. All right, everybody, thank you for being patient. Let's take a look at the messages that are coming through. So we have a sea serpent in your catalyst position. Whenever I look at the catalyst, this is a way for you to connect the messages, stay in the highest frequency, sometimes avoid trouble. So the card was reversed, and whenever I see like a water card in reverse, even if I'm looking at oracle cards, what it can show for me is this feeling of being overwhelmed. And in the case of a serpent, it can also be about like your power, your ability to sort of make things happen. So emotions this month could be bringing you off your game and not allowing you to focus, because you look at this and there's sort of like, it's almost like an eye at the center of this serpent here. So I think for many of you, it's trying to find a way to ground, channel, explore, and express your emotional side. In many ways, it could actually open up your ability to communicate and get people kind of engaged with what you're trying to do, as long as it's not kind of lashing out. And that's what can happen with the sea serpent. It can be very powerful. It can also be a little frightening. So finding the right tone and the right timing for expression of ideas and emotions is going to be key. And I ultimately really like it when I see a serpent or a snake because it's a power symbol. And just like Kundalini is kind of represented by that same sort of coiling of energy, many of you might feel this sort of, again, passion, engagement, or fire that kind of comes through you, even though we're looking at a water sort of card here. I would say the key element is, how can I harness the emotional or passionate energy within me to do something that matters? So I think that will be essential. And I'm not really nervous about that. There's a lot of water cards coming through here at the center too. So it's definitely important to get in touch with emotions and understand them this month. In fact, we have the Princess of Cups here at the center. And again, you can kind of see the interplay here. It can be a very fun and playful energy here. And this is what you're sending or receiving for other people. This is like a page card. So for me, pages really do affect communication. On top of that, then we have the Prince of Cups, or Knight. And so this is also affecting the delivery and the receipt of messages. So this month, making sure, especially since you will be ending the retrograde period that's starting in June. So again, June 18th to July 12th. During that period of time, it's going to be important to understand the context of the original communication. And if you have a question, ask a question before making an assumption. And I think that's key. Whenever I see two of the same suit, especially when they're very closely related, like there's no skip in this. So if I see a king and a queen, or in this case, a page and a knight, it can show a very nice union. So for some of you, there's a great partnership energy that's coming through at the beginning of the month. And this could be very advantageous, especially since we saw the power symbol coming up here with the serpent. The key thing is that you want to keep both energies moving in the same direction. Then this almost becomes like a wheel of fortune, and the two of you can make a lot of progress together. As I'm looking at deep past, which for those of you watching live kind of affects the here and the now, this deep past and recent past. So in the deep past, we have the strength card, the Nine of Wands, but it has strength here in the caption. One thing that I see with this is usually perseverance, not giving up. Normally in a Nine of Wands, you would see someone that is kind of showing some battle scars. Sometimes there's a bloodied brow and, like a little bandage there. And for me, it signifies that a lot of the tough work has been completed, but there's still some work ahead. And it's saying that if you've come this far, don't give up. Look at all the progress that has been made. Don't be disheartened by maybe one setback, or sometimes even by the overwhelming feeling of, oh gosh, I have to do this one more time, or, I have one more semester or one more year or whatever it is. There's one milestone that has to be completed for you. And this is saying, but look at the progress made. That's worth celebrating. And so you can do it. Basically, this is the little, the little engine that could. Just keep pushing, keep chugging along. And just like we've seen this year, I feel like this year's speeding past. Every time I show up to do a reading, we're way past the halfway mark now. And so you just start to think, okay, progress is being made, even if I can't see it and feel it every single moment. And that's what we see here. This card was reversed, but we have the Three of Pentacles. And I love this because this is showing eventual recognition and also positive receipt of whatever it is that you've been trying to accomplish. So this can be graduation. This can be publication. This can be getting some sort of an award. It can simply be the sense of fulfillment for finishing something important in front of you. For me, when I get a positive card reversed like this, two things can sort of be symbolized by that. One is simply a delay, but not a full stop, which is important. So it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It just means it may not happen in the same timing or in the same way that you'd originally sort of envisioned it, but nonetheless, there could be a pleasant surprise coming through for you. It can also mean a decision because this is usually, it can be a teaching card. Usually the Eight of Pentacles is an apprentice card, but the Three of Pentacles is either higher learning or teaching. It could mean that you've decided to invest in a very big way in something in your life. So whether that is going back to college or starting something that matters, like a business or a project where you're kind of at the helm, I see something that really you care about and are heavily invested in. Keep working on that. these two go hand in hand. So you've come this far, don't give up. It'll be worth the time, energy, and investment of all of the above, because your heart is in it. And that's the other thing. Don't be afraid to lean on or ask for help. You have help here. It's at the ready. You just have to sort of like access it or look a little bit, and you should be able to find that. The Four of Cups card in the crowning position. So Four of Cups is interesting. It's very subtle in this one. You see the cup here right behind the person. A lot of times you'll see a few here and then one off to the side. So oftentimes this is a card of hidden blessings, or what could be an overlooked opportunity, because we're so focused on the tangible, or, you know, black and white, what's right in front of us, that we miss what is kind of in the gray zone, what's off to the side. So be imaginative, be perceptive, listen. And that's also the big message with that too, is to keep an open heart, an open mind. And as we're going through these difficult times, you know, right now, when people are working from that emotional state, it's saying, take a deep breath, listen, and figure out how much of, you know, what you're feeling is your own emotional filters and how much might be from the other person. And once you can kind of sort that out, you'll be able to see it for what it is. But for those of you that have been maybe looking for work or looking for a new way to get something done, this means that out of left field, you know, there could be something that kind of shows up. So don't discount things before you find out what the offer or what the opportunity is. Looking at near future, we have the Queen of Wands card, one of my faves, because this indicates the ability to get stuff done. When the card is reversed, it's saying, let me focus on myself first before I try to worry about other people. So for those of you that are taking care of children, elderly, or just kind of play that maternal role, this is saying, turn the lens inward and make sure, like, when was the last time you got to the doctors? You know, have you eaten everything that you need to today? Are you sleeping like you should? Manage yourself, manage your life first and foremost, so that you can stay strong, be a good leader for others. And then because the card is reversed, it can show an excess sometimes of internal work. So if you are really involved in your own personal growth, healing, and development, it's saying, then you know, take a moment to be empathic and listen to people. You may not have to do anything to be a support system for someone. It could just be sitting, you know, and listening, whether it's on the phone or in person. The presence, the receipt of that energy sometimes is the biggest gift that you can give. It's not necessarily telling someone what to do. And that's that's kind of like why the card is flipped. In the upright position, it would be, you need to be a leader, you need to stand up, you need to show them what to do. In reverse, it might be listening to make sure that you understand and waiting for them to ask you, in which case you're actually allowing someone to grow and to develop and to get stronger. And that's what a good boss, parent, mentor, friend often does. You don't necessarily want or need to tell someone how to do things or how to live their life. Just help them see their own power and potential. And if they ask you for input, then you can give it. But I think this is a month to support, to listen, and then while you're waiting for people to come to you, focus on personal development and growth, because when we pair these two cards up, that's really what I'm seeing. Three of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. Manage yourself, manage your life, and really finish what you've set out to do. And one of the blessings of retrograde is that it is a chance for you to go back and make sure that you check off everything that you haven't had a chance to finish up until now. So do take advantage of that, and I think some good things can come through. Let's look at your ego this month, which is really showing me how you're anchoring yourself, what it is that you want. So we have King of Pentacles. I like this card a lot because this is a very, so the Queen of Pentacles is a maternal card and a nurturing card. The King of Pentacles is you very much understanding who you are, what you want, and it's opening you up to abundance. So in your meditation practice this month, and by the way, that was another message I had from my guides. They really wanted all of us to try to do like morning and evening meditations if possible. They said, if possible, like 9 times a week. And I in my meditation, I was almost rolling my eyes. I thought that's a lot even for me. But if you do the math, it's at least morning and evening, and you'll actually go over that. Because in your meditation, what you could say is, I'm open to love and abundance in all forms, and I'm ready to receive. The act of listening that I was talking about with Queen of Wands actually is going to open you up for receiving offers, opportunities, money, abundance, basically. And so work on that this month and think, I can handle even more money, even more love, even more business. And I'm holding space for that. And that can be one of your meditations. You just open up and say, I'm ready to, and this is also because this can be an attractive card. So think of what kind of energy you want to call in as well. And that will be really key. Now, as we look at what's around you, we have the Prince of Pentacles. This could be an apprentice that wants to come through and learn, or someone, again, I saw a couple of support cards, and we're seeing younger and older. I'm not getting a bunch of kings, a bunch of queens. I'm getting pairs in the same suit, with one being more senior, one being more junior. So with this, there's much more of a gap. We're skipping the queen card. So this is coming through more as mentor or learning energy. So you might be at a point where you want to, maybe you're more accountable when you have someone checking in on you. So it could just be a friend that's been through more, and you talk to them occasionally and say, hey, here's where I'm at. How would you handle this? It could also be a teacher. It could be something more formal. I think this is a very positive relationship. A lot can get done with this pairing. They're both upright, which means that you're working in the same sort of mental page. And with them both being kind of grounded energies, I like what I see here. There's a chance for partnership definitely this month. There are two different kind of sets of partners coming through. The question is, what are you looking for? And when I'm talking about partnership, it can be love, it can be business. But the other thing that I'm seeing is you might be some of you might be feeling like a fifth wheel, because I see 5 different court cards here: the Princess of Cups, the Prince of Cups, the Queen of Wands, the Prince of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles. So if you're feeling like the odd person out of all of this, just realize that these partnerships or these groups that are coming in, to me, seem like they're positive or auspicious. Try not to feel like you have to take a side, and realize that you're being pulled into that group because they like you. It's kind of like your family. So just you do your thing, and don't worry about getting when we talked about secrets and cliques, this is where you could end up getting into trouble, especially if one person talks to you more than the other people. Just stay in your swim lane this month, and I think it's going to be really positive. The Prince of Pentacles also shows a possibility of a new job or income, and that's really important right now, because I know a lot of you are looking for that or trying to sort this out. So I'm seeing for you, July being a growth opportunity for finances and for new sort of avenues that you might be exploring. So stay open to it. Don't say no to everything that comes your way. Something that may initially seem like a weird idea could end up being something that's good. Just dig in and get the information. You don't have to make a snap decision. And I think that's the most important thing. Now we're going to look at probably 2 of the most important cards in the spread: the hopes, fears, and opportunity. As I'm looking at the month ahead for every sign, I think this matters, because fear is something that's been factoring in a lot lately. And I don't want us to get stuck in our own fear. So one of my favorite cards in the deck is the Star card. I really love this one as well. It's a beautiful illustration. The card was reversed. So when it's upside down, what this card is saying is, don't be afraid to be who you are. There's something in your unique and sort of unusual talents or approach to living, thinking, being that sets you apart, that is going to be the definitive sort of secret sauce that can make you successful. The other piece of this is to not make your light dimmer because you're afraid of outshining someone. As evolving souls, as we start to get stronger and brighter and more wise through the years, we have a chance in our soul circles, our friends and our family circles, to also bring people up with us. If we dim ourselves, then everybody's a little bit dimmer for that sort of self-sacrifice that you're doing. Keep shining bright, keep being strong, and imagine that you just have more than enough to share. It's really a card of abundance. So why limit your abundance? If you are someone in entertainment, in a creative field, like a writer, a producer, an artist, this is showing me you want to kind of focus on the next big thing. Delays, again, delays, but positive things coming out of this, because these are two auspicious cards, two positive cards. You want to keep working on something, because for me, we go through cycles in life. That's why retrograde's happening right now. It's giving us a chance to let go of stuff, finish things, and open up for new things. It's not as bad as it seems. And given the sort of overall energy of the year, I think this is a good chance to let go of some of the stuff that we've already been through. So be kind and gentle with yourself, and realize that the star is saying, hey, on the horizon, this is your light at the end of the tunnel. Focus on what it is that you're trying to be, create, or pull into your life. It's still there. It just feels a little dark at the moment, because anytime you go through a tunnel, that's what happens. You have to get through what you're getting through before you can go to that final destination. The process that we're in right now is super important, though, because it gives us a chance to figure out what makes us afraid, what we see in the shadow energy, and what we need to heal as a result of that. The outcome is justice, which I like because it's a card of balance. The card is reversed, however, and that carries some very special meaning. So let's look at it upright first, because what we see with this is transformation and change. We see a sort of butterfly figure in the background. And we see like the heart, and I can't see what the other one is. There's another energy there, but not so important. What I'm looking at with the scales in reverse. For some of you, there's a decision that enough is enough. It could be a job that you're working in. It could be a relationship that you're in. It could simply be a certain pattern in your life. Just this is a month to finally decide no on that, and ostensibly yes on something else. Something to bring your life into balance. You don't have to sacrifice your light, your happiness, your energy for the good of others. You don't have to try to control or fix everything or everyone in your life. And instead, you're going to push forward for what really, really matters in your own heart and soul. So it's a breakup card. It's a letting go card. But it's also a card of getting justice. And that's such an appropriate card to come through because of the time that I'm reading this. That's really what the universe is trying to help us do. The planet needs healing. The human race needs healing. And hopefully what we can do right now is to take time during both the tension that we're seeing and also the pause that's still happening because of COVID-19, and figure out how to fix things, how to fix ourselves and how to fix the world. So this is a month of finding that balance for yourself. The sooner you can be happier and the sooner you can find that balance, the sooner your energy then can be spent on helping others do the same and kind of inspiring them through your own sort of personal work. But don't be afraid to let go of something this month if you need to, and don't be afraid to go down the path of looking towards something if you want to as well. So if I connect the star to justice, it's really going after what matters for you, okay? Really great energy, a lot of transformative and emotional energy for you. Let's look at the expanded forecast. That's going to help us understand how to kind of really maximize all of this. So I'm going to look at health here in just a second. For me, health includes mind, body, and spirit. And after reading for 5.5 years on YouTube, I've noticed that it's shifted more into sort of metaphysical than physical, but let's see what the card has to say. So we have birthing, and the card was upside down, which is rebirthing, basically. And for those of you that sometimes get sort of upset about reversals, I love reading both upright and reverse because it expands the universe of possibilities. And for me, this is actually even more exciting when it's upside down because it means that it's a chance for reforging and reinvention, finishing something or improving something. So this is a chance in your life to look at a place where you felt stuck. We're going to go to the emotional. That's really where this is kind of taking me. So if there's something that you tried doing and you were unsuccessful and it kind of made you feel not good about yourself or that you failed, try again during the retrograde period, because you'll either have a chance to rise up like a phoenix and just decide, I don't care, that taught me what I needed to and it doesn't define me. You might be able to successfully accomplish it because of the additional lessons, strength, and perspective that you have now. Second chances. When we're looking at the body, this could be a decision to get healthier or to let go of an addiction or to move out of a codependent relationship, because enough is enough. Justice was reversed. It's not balancing you out. Whatever it is, then it also gives you energy to put back into the fire in your belly, because we're looking at a birthing card, and this is a very fiery card. So that's going to allow you to redirect stuff into things that matter and finish them up. The strength that we see in the Nine of Wands can now be really harnessed, which is great. So I'm excited about that. It's basically a chance to push through something that has been stuck in your life, literally rebirthing and getting rid of that sort of blockage. And we'll focus hopefully in the meditation a little bit on releasing the blocks there. Just looking at the cards themselves, I think the important thing when I'm looking at the Justice card is the willingness or ability for you to simply say no if you have to. And this could be a no when you're feeling pressured to do something, or using your own strength and will to sort of say no to habits that don't help you anymore. So I think this is a chance to really get healthy and really focus on not putting yourself on this, the back burner, kind of in second place. If there's something that you have to do or should do, finish it, please do it. The Three of Pentacles here could also be going back to school. So for those of you that may have always wanted to finish college, your GED, or just learn something, this is the month to put that energy into yourself, your mind, your body, your spirit. For some of you that might be trying to have a baby or start a family, this is a second chance at that too. The birthing card was reversed, so you may need some assistance with that. When we're looking at all the emotional energy here, this could also be something that is making it difficult. So, because we're in a retrograde period, feel free to give it a second try, but also allow yourself a chance to just rest. Rest is undervalued sometimes. It's such an important piece of recovery and allowing the body to kind of open up to new things. Wherever you're at in your life, make sure you're getting enough sleep. I think that's going to be really key. Let's move along to wealth. Wealth is opportunity. It's not just the coins in your pocket. It's not just the job that you're doing. It's self-worth. And it's like, how am I interacting with what's around me? So we have heart fire on this card. And there's so much energy around passion and desire and your heart this month. And I said love is really important too. If you do what you love, to me, this almost looks like a rose, right? Opening up. I feel like this is a chance for your heart to open up and for people to really fall in love with that passionate energy. So be true to you. And then that's where the star energy opens up and people are then really wanting to be in that same sort of frequency. There's a chance for love this month. We got two partnership cards too, with the Prince and Princess of Cups and the King and Prince of Pentacles. So if you're open to it, I see more than one option. If you're already in a relationship, then the important thing for you is to not be put in between maybe two different groups of people or to be forced to take sides. Because I see, on the table, we have the Queen of Wands here, and she's between these two couples or between these two different relationships. So don't feel like you have to take sides, because sometimes that's the either laziness or even the desire of the other people to try to use you. And you're not going to be used as a pawn this month. You can support, you can encourage, but you don't have to be kind of played in that energy. So be strong. And if you're in a relationship, I would say focus on the two of you and don't compare, because Four of Cups is a card of like the grass is always greener sometimes, right? You look at who someone else is, how much they've accomplished, what's going on. Then you look at your life and you think, well, why don't I have that? You have no idea what their history is, what they worked through, how they got where they're at. So it doesn't do a lot of good. It usually just makes you feel worse, and they may not be as happy or as sad as you think. So stop comparing this month. You do you. Focus on yourself. That's going to be the best thing that you can. again, why this came through in wealth, I would say, is some of you might have a little bit of an overlap between work and love. So you might be working with your partner. It might also be because you are working from home and your partners are involved now with what you're doing. So remember what I said about boundaries? I think boundaries are important. If it's a work relationship, be careful, because again, if someone's doing something wrong or you don't want to kind of get involved with that, I think, again, holding your ground is going to be key. Looking at love specifically, not so much work here, we have a card that's around guilt. And so love for me is about specifically looking at your most intimate relationships. So this could be the people that you're married to or dating, or maybe even brother, sister, mother, father kind of dynamics where it's the closest person in your life to you. So if you have someone in your life that tends to make you feel that you have to do something, guilt is not a great energy to use for motivation. It's sort of a nagging energy. So whoever's doing this to you, don't let them get under your skin. They're clearly going through their own thing and they're trying to use this as a way to push your buttons. So I would say create some space and then stand up for yourself. Say, that doesn't work for me anymore. Maybe it worked in the past, but it doesn't work now. So if it's important to kind of illustrate what's right or wrong, stand up for yourself. But the main thing here is not to feel guilty and not to be the one that makes others feel guilty. So you can see the person suffering in the background. And you can see the person in front, which is maybe not taking accountability. So we all play a part, 50-50, making up that 100% of the pie. So you take your part, let them take their part, and don't feel like you have to kind of bear the weight of the world like Atlas would. For some of you, enough is enough, and that's why we saw the sort of divorce or separation card. Do what's best for you. That's the important thing here. As we go into your destiny card, destiny in the expanded forecast is malleable. So that means that you can embrace what we're seeing here, or you can shift it. It says, be graceful in movement and in action. And we see someone here that's really, really looking at how they are manifesting and affecting the future. The card was reversed. And so for some of you, this is simply saying, this is a month to be more mindful, more present, and to understand. We see a double serpent here, right? You see the dragon here and we see the serpent here. Things are coming full circle in your life. How can you kind of look back on your life and see what events did I do that triggered this? How did I bring this energy to the present state? And then do I want to keep up with this cycle, or do I want to do something else? Am I actually kind of using up my energy? Because this serpent's eating itself. So there are times sometimes that we're just burning ourselves out. Is there a chance for you to break that cycle and direct the energy as we were talking about earlier? Because I think for many of you there is. So what you could look at again is, what do I really want to push that fire into? And to me, this reminds me of the Two of Wands card, because we see that person looking at what they're manifesting. So just realize that you have more power than you may give yourself credit for, okay? Let's go ahead now and do a quick recap of what we've talked about. A lot of times I see things even more clearly because we've been through the whole spread. And then let's go to the ever important soul work, where we're going to focus on past, present, and future influences. In this case, for being at peace, for healing, for forgiveness, all these things which we kind of need to do right now. And then our meditation is really going to focus around peace. All right, let's take a look at everything. And I'd like to start with channeled messages. We're creating the future right here, right now. Today, right in this moment, this is the most important time because you're affecting tomorrow. So create something that really, really matters here, and create the history that you want, and not that you feel is already written or decreed or expected of you. You are the writer, you are the creator, you're making this moment in time, so make it matter. The important thing here is using the language of love and trying to find compassion even when others don't have it. You can use this as a disarming mechanism, because sometimes people expect to kind of create a rise out of you energetically. And if you can stay calm and push compassion, love, and sort of this balanced energy, then you're going to help balance them out as well. Information is always one of the most valuable assets you can have. This month, you're going to want to protect it. If you have something that needs to stay under wraps, then don't share it with people, because it feels like secrets can get out or information can get out. Even if you normally trust someone else in their environment might share that secret. So be careful. And if you are thinking of announcing something, get ahead of this, because I feel like if you're afraid that something's going to get out, it probably already is out there. So one of the rules of PR is to try to manage the flow of information. Get on that and find a way to control the flow. And then when it comes to big decisions in your life, really focus on taking your time and getting as much information as possible. I think that's going to help you feel like there's no regret once you've made a decision, and it's also going to help you avoid any potential pitfalls that might be coming through for you. We have this powerful sea serpent that came through in the catalyst. The card is reversed, and I mentioned that emotional energy or emotional drama and trauma could get in the way of your own empowerment or your ability to make things happen. So really be careful with that. And then both of these cards are featuring prominently a dragon. And so I would say one of the things you want to look at is coming full circle on certain things in your life. Is there something that you can really understand now? This was happening so that I would go through that, be stronger, and accomplish this. For some of you, you might decide that you're kind of burning the candle at both ends and you're tired of that. You have more power and autonomy than you think. Use it to manifest. Become the Two of Wands and really hold your future, or write your future for yourself. We see the couple of key relationships that could be playing in your life this month. We have at the center, Prince and Princess of Cups, then we have the King and Prince of Pentacles here. And so for some of you, you're in between this. So there could be two cliques or two groups and you're like, how do I fit in? The answer to that is be yourself. You may be better than those two groups where it's like you're not supposed to sort of take sides. You're supposed to show a different perspective. You may be sort of pulled into one because of who you are, but don't change. Don't change for others in your life. If you're this core couple in the center here that I see, and it could be friend relationship or sort of like a love relationship, I like this. I think that you're both in the same frequency here. Both of these were upright, basically. So I'm not seeing a lot of discord. It's just sort of understanding how to balance maybe two very separate groups or two different opinions, and kind of how do I make peace between that? So you may have your own group of friends and your family doesn't approve of them, or you may have two wildly different sides of your family, and it's hard to kind of justify how to make it work. Again, you don't have to do it. You're not the sort of referee. And I think that's going to save you a lot of heartache this month. Instead, focus on achieving your goals. 9 of Wands, 3 of Pentacles. Work hard, finish things up. Then 3 of Pentacles and the Star happen for you, and that's completion and success and distribution. So I like these two things as well. 4 of Cups, it's all about perspective. Try not to compare yourself to others. It rarely makes you feel better. Sometimes it even ends up being very distracting or detrimental. There is a hidden blessing. There's something coming through that could really be positive for you. So stay open to opportunities. And then, as I said earlier, just don't rush into them. Get the information that you need to feel empowered and informed. And I think that's going to be really important. The Boss card this month is really about kind of managing yourself, your life, and feeling like you know what you need to do for you. And wait for others to come to you, because as you do that, you're allowing them to grow, you're allowing them to develop, and you're not putting yourself in a codependent relationship or position where then sometimes people can blame you for making a decision for them. Your goal this month is simply to guide and to present the opportunities, much as like what I'm doing here. You ultimately have free will, so don't feel like you have to make the decisions for everyone else. If you are a boss or if you are a head of a company, then it is looking at the future. It's trying to figure out what is literally right and wrong. What do you have to do from a tactical standpoint? What makes sense in the long run for success? And then start manifesting that. Focus on the big picture and the long term, not the sort of noise of the moment. Let's see here. Okay, so now we were looking at the ego. Be open to abundance in all forms. Really put that into your meditation practice. There's an opportunity, which I mentioned here in the environment, for development, for growth. It could either be symbolic, where you're developing yourself, or there could be a new job or opportunity on the horizon. Don't mute your light. Do what you need and want to do. Focus on your long-term goals as well. This whole month is bringing balance into your life, justice and balance. For some of you, that's stepping away from something. For some of you, it's stepping towards something. Health. This is a chance for new beginnings and for letting go of things and removing blockages. Wealth. Follow your heart, follow your passion. There's a little bit of overlap between wealth and relationships. And I think that for some of you, who you know could really open up some of those opportunities in your life. So that might be part of it. Love. Don't use guilt as a motivating, it's not motivating, I would say as a tactical sort of method to get things done. And don't let others use that for you either. Just stand up for yourself and say, that doesn't work anymore. I see you, I see what you're doing. And we have a very sort of parental energy. So this could either be like a mother, a boss, or a mentor. Just push that to the side. That's not going to work. And then ultimately, finding your fire and deciding what you want to do with it. Because I see the dragon behind this person. I see the manifestation energy here. And we have, I thought it was a grasshopper, but it's really a praying mantis here. So there's a lot of, when I look at a praying mantis, it's a very powerful insect because it takes its time. It has a stealthy energy towards, I should say, attached to it. And then it knows exactly when to move in. So being tactical is super important. Timing is everything. And if you act in the right time with the right energy, everything can kind of come into focus for you. Because that card is right above the guilt card, the other thing is to be aware of people in your life that are waiting to kind of like come in for the kill. You're not going to let this happen. Notice how he's got that in one hand. He's like, yeah, I know this, or she, doesn't matter. They have that in one hand and they're kind of like, I'm not going to let this energy or this person get me. I am aware, but I'm focusing on this. One eye here, one eye here. So kind of just be open and zen about it, and don't overreact if that person snaps at you. Just be like, yeah, I saw that coming. I was ready for that. Okay. Let's get into the soul path today. And we're going to be looking at not just for the month of July, also for this moment in time. I would say the next 6 months here. A lot of these meditations and soul path readings can affect now through the end of the year. So I want to look at opportunities for finding peace. This could be peace of mind. This could be peace in your family. This could be peace in the world. Let's see what the messages are for you. We'll look at the past first, and then we'll move along to present and future. Okay, so for many of you, there could have been a moment where you acted hastily or someone else did. There could be people in your life that lack the maturity that you're looking for. This is also encouraging you to move forward. To me, this is beginnings and ends. So, the world being usually the same sort of energy. This is the 0 card. You notice the number 0 at the top. So if you can reset things and think of kind of like what you would do if you reformat a hard drive or clear out something, you've got to make room for something new. So the Fool doesn't get kind of tied down in energy. Usually he or she has a knapsack. They travel lightly, and it, on one side of the fence, it can be naivete, but if we're looking at rebirthing, it can be, I've already been through that. I don't need to carry all this stuff with me anymore. So simply move on, walk away, let go. Notice all the chaos happening around this person, and they're just walking and walking and walking. So don't get distracted, and don't be afraid by some of this noise that's going on in your life around you. It could be the world, it could be your family, it could be the past. Keep moving. Also connecting it here with the 9 of Wands. Push, push, push forward. Let's look and see how this is affecting the here and the now for you. One other way to kind of sum that up, especially in the energy of peace, would just be walk away. That's what the Fool would do. I'm not going to get involved with this. If it's an unnecessary argument, there are things right now that you need to get involved with. This is saying I'm not going to fight with you. I'm going to make a point and then move on. I don't need to fight. It's kind of walking away from the violence, whether it's verbal or otherwise. Three of Swords. And this is one of my favorite Three of Swords cards because it shows that we carry the pain sometimes here, not just here. Because when people say those things to us or do those things to us, whatever they may be in our life, whether it's something from childhood, getting fired or rejection, whether it's some sort of a slur against who we are, those things kind of just stick in our head and we hear those words, we feel those thoughts. So realize that they are not your own. These were someone else's projections and they've kind of come into your energy system. So I'm going to write this down because I think it'll be very helpful as we do the meditation. I want to pull the swords out. I want to pull out the daggers that people have kind of thrown at you in your life. We all have different daggers that we are carrying with us, different forms of rejection, but this is a month for us to kind of let them go. I think right now, as we're going through this period in time, especially here in the United States, and I'm sure you've seen it around the world too, but we're going through a lot of tension where people are saying things on either side of the fence. So you have to be firm in who you are and carry that. Your heart has to be strong. So I want you to heal yourself this month and be stronger than the words that people are saying. Everybody's hurting, and that's what this is saying. So we're going to try to heal everybody's heart a little bit and try to separate the words from the truth and try to get back into the energy of what we're trying to do. It's a long-term sort of thing to affect change. So whether it's a goal in your life and you were rejected for that, or whether it's something as big as civil rights and we're trying to see movement and change, we have to stay strong. We have to stay positive. We have to lead with light. And that's the important thing, even when we're hurting. And because ultimately we have to push through so that other people won't hurt in the future. And that's what it's about. In a relationship this month, it's okay to say no. It's okay to walk away. Ultimately, this is just, it's not your stuff. You're dealing with projection and aggregation and the amalgamation of all this other stuff around you. And it's been a tough year, hasn't it? I mean, again, I think we have to look at what we've been through. We're in a global pandemic, a global recession, possibly a depression in some places. We're dealing with racial tensions and all of the ramifications of these things too. Also on a political scale, things are kind of falling apart on a global scale. So it's hard not to feel it. We're empathic. Everybody here, if you're showing up today, feels this on some level because it's a lot. So let's let it go today. We're going to release that energy and we're going to try to get back into our own thoughts and our own vision. Seven of Cups in the future, and it's reversed, which I like. So the Seven of Cups is an sort of like brainstorming or exploring card. Usually you would see the cups floating in the air around the person. And with it, there's the value in, maybe I'll try this. Maybe I'll try this. When it's reversed, it's saying, now is the time to focus. I'm going to choose these 2 or 3 things, and the rest of the stuff, I will deal with it later. And it's also a card of like tuning. Think of it as like fine tuning in an old fashioned radio. So this month, you really want to tune in what matters and tune out what doesn't. Okay. So walk away if you need to. Release projections. They're not your own. Still hurts. Still not the highest frequency, but it's not yours, and that helps. And then tune into what you're trying to create, what matters. This will create peace of mind and peace in your body. This is also going to help create peace around you. Let's get into the meditation. As I look at the cards, I definitely want to look at releasing, as we saw with this, rebirthing, coming through this, maybe kind of coming up like a phoenix from the ashes, and holding your ground. The Queen of Wands is strong. So when you're trying to go after something that matters for you, whether it's a small goal or like a planetary goal, you have to keep holding that vision and holding that plan. So I think these things are what I want to focus on for our meditation. Before I get started, if you've enjoyed any part of this today, there are two things you can do that cost nothing but help me a lot. Hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, and also click subscribe if you haven't already. That's all I ask. And then let's get into the meditation. All right, please be comfortably seated and close your eyes. I want you to take a deep breath, take your shoulders up and back just to release any tension that you're holding on to. Exhale, maybe even give yourself a gentle massage on your shoulders. We carry more here than we sometimes realize. So just go in there and try to give yourself a little bit of TLC and take the weight off your shoulders. When you're done, just come into a nice seated posture. And as we take our first breath, I just want you to imagine that you're pulling a ribbon of light or energy through your body, all the way through the top of your head. As you exhale, let the string go. See your body starting to lighten and brighten up. And now you can just kind of sink back into the chair or wherever you are listening to this right now. As I look at all the imagery here, I see a lot of water, and I think it'll be helpful for us to meditate close to the water. But I like being sort of in a protected space as well. So what if we kind of take ourselves to the forest edge, and there's a little bit of movement, a trickling creek. We're not going to go crazy with the water. I want to see movement, but I really want to focus on being grounded as well. So imagine that you are kind of leaning up against a tree that you like on the ground, but seated and putting your back against this tree. And maybe it's like one of the ancient trees that's been around forever, like a California redwood or something equivalent in your particular country. Just see that this tree has been here for maybe 400 or 500 years or 300 or 400 years. It's seen many different ages of humankind come and go. And it carries with it a wisdom and a knowledge that time moves on. The world changes around it, but it keeps growing strong. It keeps standing there. It keeps doing its thing. It's solid in who it is and what its purpose is. As you melt into the energy of the tree, I want you to take with you some of that ancient knowledge within the stores of the cells and the sort of rings of the tree. And you can even see how much it's been through. It's survived forest fires. It's survived earthquakes. It's survived different acts of trauma and violence and drama around it, but it's stood strong and it's now kind of stronger than ever. I want you to take with you some of that strength as you're leaning into the energy of the tree. Feel your heart opening up and just offer some gratitude to this ancient, sentient kind of being behind you. It's a tree, but I feel like it has a soul as well. So connecting to the energy and the soul of the tree, now know that it's giving you permission to move along its trunk, its branches, and its roots. As you reach up into the sky, I want you to imagine that you are limitless. You are an eternal being, which you are, that can accomplish things that would surprise even you. Reach for the sky, reach for the stars, and keep reaching, and just feel this energy of expansion as the sun shines down upon you. Allow the sun to shine through the leaves of the tree, through the branches of the tree, coming into your crown chakra, because you're kind of now in the sort of center of the tree energetically anyway. And allowing that light to travel through your body, through your legs, through your limbs, all the way through the roots. Now you're reaching into the planet as well, feeling connected to purpose. At this point, you can let go. And this is the important piece of this meditation. I want you to see something in your life or a series of events that have caused you pain or trauma or sadness, that have made you feel stuck. We're in a very fluid energy of this tree. And as you're kind of connecting with it, you can even feel the water of the stream going by you too. So you have the motion of the water, the motion of the light as it's transformed into energy, and as that energy is being moved through the tree, the energy that's also coming up through the roots. There is this constant movement of energy and transmission of energy within this tree. You are now able to move energy through your body. Give it to the tree and allow it to ground it or send it up into the sky. All you have to do is release. So as I play the singing bowl, I want you to think of the pain that you no longer want to carry with you, the words, the hurt, the energy that people have tried to push onto you. It's no longer yours. It never was. Send it into the tree and allow the tree to move it. Take a deep breath and just focus on the sound of this bowl. Take a deep breath. Let go. Allow your body to be on the earth, but I want you to rise above your body for a second, following the branches of the tree, feeling yourself exit as you go through the leaves, and taking a look at this planet, something that we have to keep doing as we go through this. Look at what a beautiful place this is. The beaches, the trees, the cities, all of the flowers, all of the wonderful things that both nature has provided and that also that we have created. And see yourself as a part of something bigger and more beautiful than you ever imagined. And know that you play a part in that you're powerful, that you can spread your wings and shine a little bit. And using the energy of the phoenix, which rises above the ashes of the past, now that you're in safe distance of the tree, see your energetic self stretching out its arms, reaching towards the sun, and shining with the intensity of 10 different stars, brightly shining into your future and lighting up and healing this planet. Let's take a moment to pray for everyone who has lost someone to sickness or illness, to violence, to hate, and let's bring a sense of calm to the planet that tomorrow can and will be brighter and better than today or yesterday was. Let it all go and allow yourself to drift energetically towards your body as light as a feather. Just imagine that there's a single feather that's carrying all of the energy of your soul. It's going to enter in through your crown chakra or your third eye, whatever seems easier for you. Feel that energy reincorporating with your body, and give yourself permission now to focus on something that matters. The final message that we looked at for peace was to tune into the things or the thing that matters most to you, and let that be your compass, let that be your torch that carries you through any of the darkness or challenges in the days ahead. When you're ready, take one final breath and open your eyes and come back, come home. It's good to see you guys again. And hopefully that journey gave you the healing, the perspective, and the power that you need, again, to move forward. Okay. Let's focus now on the just different ways to connect. But I just want to say thank you so much. One of the reasons I started doing what I'm doing now was to help spread positivity, to hopefully help inspire other light workers out there. So I never anticipated I'd be doing it amidst all of these sort of things, but I guess this is the right thing at the right time. So thanks for showing up, and thanks for being supportive and being a light. Anybody that was kind enough to give me a super chat during this session, thank you so much. You help make it possible. And the way that I continue to buy, especially this is only a couple months old, this deck, it's through your generosity. If you would like to stay in touch with me, there are a few ways to do it. Of course, if you haven't hit subscribe, please do it now. There's no excuse. It's a great way to keep in touch. After you've done that, I have the same username on Facebook. It's @Nicholas Ashbaugh. And if you want to give in a sort of monthly capacity, you can do that on Patreon, or you can use there's a join button here on YouTube as well. And the join one allows you to give back a little bit each month. And anyone that in chat you see with green text, they're the folks that have done that on a monthly basis. So thank you to all of them. Another way to keep in touch is through Instagram. I use stories there to remind you of upcoming readings. So it's a great way to keep in touch. It's at Nicholas_Ashbaugh. On Twitter, it's at @nashbaugh. And if you can't remember all of this, just go to my website. Everything is there. That's nicholasashbaugh.com. One other way I know some of you prefer is through Patreon. So that's paypal.me/NicholasAshbaugh. But again, you can get all of that on my website. So thank you all for showing up, for shining brightly. And thanks to my moderators for helping me out today. I appreciate both of you. Take care of yourselves. I will be back later this week. And actually, because it's Friday, it's hard to keep track of the days in quarantine, isn't it? But I'll be back on Sunday, and all of the schedule for upcoming events will be on my website. And if you subscribe to the channel, I also put story reminders also on YouTube, another reason to subscribe. Thanks, guys. And from Apollo and I wish you much love and light. See you soon. Thank you so much. Stay strong, okay?